Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's international webinar on the identity crisis of minorities in South Asia. My name is Zehra, and I am the Senior Research Associate at South Asia Research Institute for Minorities. SARIM works to help and support minority communities across the South Asia through the research and advocacy. So now we are honored to have distinguished panel of speakers who will share their insights and experiences regarding of challenges faced by minorities in the region. Our esteemed speakers are Dr. Abhay Kumar, Shalin Maria Lawrence, Mohammad Ayatulla Rahaman, and Reeta Pariyar. Their expertise on the topic will help us to understand the struggle of acceptance and rights and representation faced by minorities in South Asia. Addressing these challenges is crucial for building fair and inclusive society amongst communities across the region. So first we have Dr. Abhay Kumar, a well-known writer, journalist, and social activist from New Delhi, India. Dr. Kumar has been a vocal advocate for minority rights and has deeply covered the issues related to social justice in his work. Without further delay, let's begin with the opening remarks. Dr. Kumar, over to you. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you very much. I once again express my gratitude to all the members, all those who are associated with the South Asia Research Institute for Minorities. I have appeared here at this platform for several times, and I feel always happy to speak on the minority issues. So you know it very well that in India, 2024 general elections are happening, and the result for the elections will be declared on June 4th. So that would be a very important day for us, for Indian democracy, and also people outside India. They are also watching the political development in India very keenly. So what I would like to do here is to give an brief analysis of how our leaders are talking about the real issues, the minority issues, and what kind of campaigns they are doing. And I will try to link their campaigns, their languages to the questions of minority. And it will give you some idea about what is the conditions of minorities in India. And whatever is happening in India, I think India is not living in isolation. Other countries in South Asia or maybe other nations outside Asia or in Asia, maybe in Africa, Europe, they are all getting influenced by the development which is happening in one part of the world to another part of the world. So let me try to say electoral campaigns, and then I'll try to link the whole discussion with the minority issues. Friends, you may be knowing this fact that in India, 2024 general elections are happening, and there are 7 phases of the elections because India is a large country, and to manage elections well, I think election commissioners of India, they hold elections in 7 phases, and the electoral campaigns goes for something around 2 months, 1.5 months, and this is the time when media is giving attention to what leaders are saying. In democracy, the first thing we have to keep in mind that democracy is not all about elections. I think we have to also keep in mind that just to hold election does not mean that democracy is in a very good shape, democracy is healthy. We have to ask as a political scientist, as a scholar of social sciences, what kind of elections is happening, what kind of issues are being talked about, and how the leaders are talking about the lives, the issues of the minorities, the marginalized community, the weaker section, I think the women. And I'm sorry to say that our expectations as a democratically minded persons, our expectation has not been fulfilled. And the top leaders in India, they are talking in terms of majoritarian language. So whatever I'm going to say, it is also related to how electoral campaigns are happening in other parts of the world, where the leaders are trying to speak in favor of the majority community in order to present just well-wisher of the minority community. And the ruling parties and their leaders, they try their best to the parties which are in opposition and the parties which are social minority appeasement. So the majoritarian party, the party which is trying to get vote by playing with the sentiments of the majority community, they will never look at themselves. They will never say that playing majoritarian card is very bad for democracy. Instead of them, they would try to demonize the minority party to be doing minority appeasement, and they will go to an extent of saying that the opposition parties are parties for the minorities. And in India, you know it very well that Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, they are minorities. So the electoral campaigns launched by the majoritarian party, the BJP, the language is constructed in such a way that it is trying to project itself as the party of the Hindus, the party of the majority community, and the Congress party and the left party and the secular parties which are in opposition, they are being demonized as the party of Muslims. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is the leader of the nation's 140 crore people, I think he is leading such kind of campaign, and this is very unfortunate for any democracy that the Prime Minister is the leader of the country. And one opposition's leader has said that the Prime Minister using all the resources uh, of the government, he is given a special treatment. Lakhs of rupees are being spent on his security. Roads are blocked to make his electoral rally successful. So he is using the public money, but he's talking about sectarianism. The Prime Minister is the leader of everybody, so he should campaign for all the parties. Why he's campaigning only for his own party? At the same time, he's using all the resources, all the facilities of the top leader of this country. So this is very contradictory thing. And when he's talking about electoral issues, and when he's seeking votes for his party, if you study his campaigns, his speeches, you will find that the Mr. Prime Minister is not talking about what he has done in last 10 years. He is not much talking about what he is going to do if he is elected third time. He is not talking about how he is going to bring down price rise, how he is going to give employment, how he is going to deal with economic crisis, how he is going to deal with the farmer issue. He is not much talking about these issues. What he is doing instead is to presenting Congress party to be the party of the Muslims and the BJP to be the party of Hindus. So in India, what is happening is electoral campaigns are being played down on the narrative of national and anti-national, Hindus versus Muslims, and it is being played out on communal issues. So this is very ironical, and I think people who are doing electoral studies, this is my request to them that you also look at how minority is being demonized during the elections campaign, and how the majority party, instead of giving people everything, every detail about what they have done, instead of that, it is taking a bypass route, and it is only targeting minorities community to create religious frenzy and to hide its own failure. In democracy, what is the rule? The rule is that elections should be held in a free and fair manner. Elections should be held in such a way that all political parties get level playing field. Elections should be held in such a way that it should act as a space, as an occasion where you talk about the critical issues. You talk about the development of the country. You talk about the democratic aspiration of the marginalized community. You talk about peace. You talk about development. You try to bring about political awareness. You try to make people think on critical issues, both national and international. Instead of that, Indian democracy, which is seen as the largest democracy because the overall population of the many countries, Western Europe, or maybe in USA. So we have got large number of voters, something around 80, 90 crores. Instead of that, what is happening? That our leaders are not talking democratic language. I'm not saying that whatever I am saying is happening everywhere, but this is what, as a political analysis, I am getting, that this is the plan on which the majority party is trying to win the elections. And one thing, the Prime Minister in his rally are saying 2 or 3 things repeatedly. One point he is repeatedly saying that the Congress party is trying to give reservations to Muslim, and it is trying to snatch reservations from ST community, that is Adivasi, that is indigenous community, from the scheduled caste community, that they are ex-untouchables, they are Dalits, and from the backward classes. So what Prime Minister is doing? Prime Minister is trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He is not only demonizing Muslims community, but he is also creating a false narrative that the rights of the marginalized community will be deprived, will be taken back, and it will be handed over on plate by the Congress party to Muslims community. So the Prime Minister is trying to create an impression that he is the greatest champion of the rights of the Dalits, the Adivasi, the OBC and the Hindu communities. On the other hand, the secular party is only thinking in terms of serving the interests of the minority community. He's also playing the card of the temple, and he's saying that if secular party is voted to power, it will demolish the temple which was built in Ayodhya. But he's never saying that what was the process through which the temple was constructed. He's never saying that just to build a temple, so many people had to suffer. He is not talking about everything. He's not talking about how the temple is going to communalize the politics of the nations. He's not talking about that in India there are lakhs and lakhs of temple, and to demolish the religious place of minority and to construct the temple on the debris of a mosque is unpardonable crime, I must say. And the history will never forget all those people who have demolished the mosque. And even the Supreme Court has said it very clearly that it has never been proved that earlier temple was there and it was demolished and then mosque was built on that. And the second thing, the Supreme Court has said that demolishing a mosque is a crime. It is unconstitutional. It is very unfortunate. I don't understand that why the Prime Minister is talking about temple issues after successfully dominating Indian politics for 10 years, and all those media supporters, all those Godi medias, all those people who are supporting Prime Minister are only spreading this narrative. Friends, I should now stop here. But one thing, my submission here is that there is a need to look at minority questions very seriously in our electoral studies, and no democracy can survive if minority rights are not protected. And Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar wrote a small pamphlet at the time of India's independence, and the pamphlet is available everywhere. The name of the pamphlet is States and Minorities by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And he has said that minorities are not those people only who are religious minorities. Minorities are all those who are socially, educationally, culturally, economically are discriminated. So I think to win elections by demonizing minority is not the true democracy. True democracy is the one where minorities are given their rights and where minority rights are promoted, where minority rights are protected. True democracy is a place where people should engage in critical discussion. It should not try to play negative politics. And my friends who are in Pakistan, I would also like to say one small thing and then I will stop. The leaders, the Prime Minister, look at this irony. People that the Pakistani people and Pakistani leaders have become supporters of the Congress party. So the Pakistani discourse is also there in our elections. This is also very unfortunate. And one thing I would like to say, having criticized the BJP, the majoritarian party, I am also very sad to see the manifesto of the secular parties, the Congress party, which has not even mentioned the term Muslim in its manifesto. And their leaders, because the fear that if I talk about friends, the last thing I would like to add here, that Ajit Pawar, who is the ally of the BJP Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he has said that reservation should be given to Muslim. He has made this thing publicly in his resolution, his party's resolution, Nationalist Congress Party, which is supporting the BJP Shiv Sena government in Maharashtra. But Prime Minister is not talking about Ajit Pawar, who is on paper has said that Muslims should be given reservation. But the Congress party, which has not mentioned even the term Muslim in its manifesto, is being criticized to be the party of the Muslim. So this is very, very unfortunate. And as a democratically minded person, we must defend minority rights wherever we are doing anything. This is what I have to say. Thank you very much.
I agreed with you. Thank you so much for sharing the reality. Thank you. Next, we have Shalin Maria Lawrence, a writer, intersectional feminist, and anti-caste activist from India. Shalin work focuses on intersection of caste, gender, and minority identities, shedding light on compounded discrimination faced by marginalized communities. Shalin, please unmute yourself and share your insights.
Yeah, thank you so much. And she reminded me to unmute myself because like dozens of times on SARIM, I never unmuted myself to speak. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. Abhay. It was a pleasure listening to you. And thanks everyone for staying here till the end. Yeah, so I come from an intersection which is like very critical. So I am a Christian, a Dalit, and then I also come from the Pariyar community, from Tamil Nadu. And we also, consider ourselves as a we don't consider ourselves as a caste, but as as Adi Dravidas or the indigenous people. So I always say we are casteless, and it's highly complicated to explain to the rest of India that that we are casteless and we don't belong to the Varna system and things like that. So yes, and right now people are taking offensive. Even if I call myself as a Dalit, you should not call yourself as a Dalit, and then like various things. There is a moment. There is a moment for liberation. There is a moment for redemption, and there is a moment for it's been going on for a long time. For around centuries, there has been people fighting against Brahmanism and Vedic religion and things like that. And down south from Tamil Nadu, we were fighting against Brahminical rituals, and we were indigenous Buddhists. And the Tamils were indigenous Buddhists according to Ayatulla, and that's how we identify ourselves as. So there were different kind of movements, and there were different kind of mobility of these movements, and it began at some point, it ended at some point. Some movements are still continuing under different leaderships. So I think this is a collective thing, it is a collective thing, and people should be able to appreciate that, as oppressed people, as minorities, we are all coming together, be it religious minorities or even Dalits, because Dalits are considered as minorities, right? So the reservation itself is given to Dalits based on the thing that they are communities. They are minorities. So obviously, not just numeric, not just the number matters, but what matters is how certain group of people are very indigenous to a location, how they are natives, and how their culture is very distinctive, and how their language is very different, and then how their practices are very different from the majoritarian Sanskritized or saffronized version of the concept of a nation. We are very distinct, right? So I just told in the recent interview when they said घर वापसी कर लो, like कौन सा घर, कहाँ जाऊँ मैं, like I've never been a Hindu. Before people were, collated as Hindu, we were never Hindus. We were different. We were, going around, smaller deities, paganism and all those things. So we were nature worshippers. We were never into Hindus. So Garvapsi, so I can't go there. Maybe for Garvapsi, I can go to Buddhism. And even that, it's totally up to me, according to the constitution, to go to any religion which I like. That does not change my, scheduled caste status. But unfortunately, as a Dalit, Christian, I have a problem here, because here I have BJP, who does not accept me as a native of this land because I'm a Christian, and as I've already said before, I'm always a rice bag, and I'm always a different names. They want me to go to Pakistan, they want me to go to Vatican. There's no logic in asking me to go to Pakistan. So they think it's more safe. I don't know, but they're like, you go to Vatican. I'm like, why should I go to Vatican? Vatican will not accept me. All the right-wing leaders in the world are there in Vatican, so I can't go there. And then they're like, you don't belong here just because I changed to a particular religion. Then I can go ahead and bring out Aryan invasion theory. I can go ahead and talk about the Khyber Pass and a lot of things. I can go ahead and talk to your roots to Iran. I can go ahead and do that, but I don't want to get into all those theories. I've been living here for a very long time. These are my roots, and you have to consider me as an Indian. You get my tax money. I pay for goods tax. I pay for consumer tax. I pay for service. I pay for income tax. Everything. So obviously, I pay the tax to my country. My royalties are with this country. My passport says I'm Indian, and everything says I'm Indian. Then end of the day, you just say, oh, you're Christian, so you will not consider your interest at all. So as a Christian and Muslim and Buddhist, and it's very difficult to live in a country called India, where every time because yesterday when Amit Shah, the Home Minister, was talking about he's talking about one nation, one country, and suddenly he's saying I will not allow a Tamil person to rule Orissa. And it is like it's hilarious, because there are people talking about hum ek hai, ek India hai, and then suddenly he says Tamils are very different. So as Tamils can be seen as an ethnic minority. So Tamils are ethnic minorities, and we don't have any protection, because whole of India right now is going against a Hindi nation. So I'm not blaming the speakers of Hindi or the Hindi states, the Hindi belt, but apart from that, India has numerous languages, numerous numerous dialects, and there's a lot of scripts available. And then end of the day, when you say India is a Hindi nation, Hindi is not a national language. But end of the day, you bring a proposition saying Hindi, hamara language, like so many years, for decades, people have stayed with the concept, or even Tamilians think Hindi is official language of India, national language of India, which is not true. So as a language minority, people are threatened. People speaking Urdu or Tamil, or people speaking Kannada, we are threatened by it right now, because you are treating us, very different. We cannot get it to the point at all. And then as Christians, as I said, when Amit Shah was talking, I could not just think about Tamils, but I was also considering myself as a Dalit, because if he's talking about Bhumiputras, then what about so many Bhumiputras killed in Orissa? So many martyrs. So many Dalit Christians, tribes killed in Kandhamal, in Sabalpur, and everywhere, wherever he was talking, right? The father Staines, along with 2 kids, was burnt alive because he was helping the tribes of Odisha with education and medicine. He was not even converting them. And then he was burnt alive. So, who are the Bhumiputras? You killed your own people. You had that, I don't know which Sena, Ranveer Sena, Ram Sena, something, and that this guy also got an election seat from BJP. He came out. And then, end of the day, you say we are Bhumiputras. Like, who are we then? Who are we? A Gujarati is a Bhumiputra of Odisha, but a Dalit of Kandhamal is not a Bhumiputra. So the question arises there. So there's a Christian part, there's a linguistic part, there is a Dalit part, and then they talk about, for example, caste itself, in the sense, like Puri Jagannath is there, right? And he's talking about protecting Puri Jagannath. Can a Dalit Odia, a person, Dalits from Puri, can they enter Jagannath temple? There's a question we're going to ask here. Like, nobody's asking the question. It's a valid question. Nobody's asking that. So, end of the day, this whole division tactics, as Dr. Abhay said, even the left wing is mimicking the right wing. The left wing is mimicking the right wing. You can suddenly go and see Rahul Gandhi doing all the puja part and all those stuff, showing his, thread and everything. And suddenly you feel like, oh, I have 2 BJPs here. It's 2 BJP because there is a temple issue, and then there is a government, people who should know secular, who should talk about Babri Masjid. But end of the day, they are like, they're not saying anything. They're just silent. And then when the Jagannath issue came also, they went ahead and they did the whole Hindutva thing back in the face of BJP. So it is like fighting like who's more Hindu than who is more secular. Congress should be fighting about who's secular, right? But they're talking about who is more Hindu. So that is kind of, even the Dravidian parties down south, they are more Hindu. They used to be atheists. They used to say we are atheists. They never believed in God. They believed in, distrigating all the statues of, Brahmanical thing, and, they're known for that. Then suddenly they become like, they said there's one God 60 years back. And now they're saying we are Hindu party. The Dravidian party is saying we are Hindu party. Nobody wants to be secular. And as everybody says, even the coming election from Tamil Nadu, not even a single Muslim from DMK, the Dravidian party, we know all, because Shalin calls himself very progressive, a single Muslim was not given a seat. So how come this is antithesis to Hindutva? This is going in terms with Hindutva, right? So you're just mimicking them. So people will obviously select the better Hindu, the more extreme Hindu. This is not a solution. And elections are not a solution. Elections, as Ambedkar says, in India, democracy is a fan affair. It is democracy is majoritarian, whatever they're going to decide. So, demolishing a mosque, not a problem. Killing, Christians, persecuting Christians is not a problem. Nobody talks about it. But when there is demonetization and there's a problem with money, people talk about it. Yeah, a lot of people talk about it. So when there's demonetization, there's a problem with income tax, there's a problem with economy, everybody talks about it. But when there is a problem with religious minorities being attacked or Dalits being attacked, nobody wants to take the right side or nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody are going towards the majoritarian, side, which is majorly even the Congress is doing. So what happens is, end of the day, people like Mayawati or people like, Owaisi or people like, different political parties down south who are Dalit parties, they take a stand because we've seen your democracy for 70 years now, more than 70 years. We've seen how you behave. Okay, we've seen what side you will take. We've seen how unsecular you are. You are not secular. We've seen that. And we've seen how much of importance. See, one good example. There is Gandhi Jayanti. Gandhi was born on October 2nd. Gandhi didn't eat meat. You go ahead and shut all the meat shops across the country. Like, why? It was his food choice. During Ramzan or Christian, are we going and force feeding people biryani and mutton? No, we can't cook so much also. I don't know, we have to give the neighbors and stuff. Like, that's a bit only we can do. But like, we don't go ahead and force people, right? We're not doing it. Secularism is when I can be myself. I can own my identity without discriminating someone, without forcing someone to be someone else, even for one particular day. Imagine you call Jains as minorities in India, but Jains have become neo-Brahmins in India. Jains have become neo-Brahmins. They have something called Mahavir Jayanti. In Tamil Nadu, these Banyas, they travel, they are businessmen. I'm not talking about the laborers, I'm talking about the business people, Brahmin Banyas of the north, who come here, who sit here, who establish businesses, and they celebrate Mahavir Jayanti. And for that, the government issues an order stating today is Mahavir Jayanti and all the meat shops should be shut. Like, why? If I'm suffering from anemia, I need B12, I need hemoglobin, let me eat the meat which I want to eat today. I want to eat today. How can you stop me? So, what BJP is doing has been done by most of the parties from the left front also for majority appeasement. So, whatever BJP talks about minority appeasement never happened in this country. It is just namesake. It is chumma, superficial. Minority appeasement, leave appeasement. Minority rights itself was never delivered here. There was appeasement to happen. So everything was more, it was always about one religion. It was always about who has the money are. So it's either the neo-Brahmanized religion or, it is all about that. There's nothing called, and then you have a burqa problem, and then you have a Christian problem, and then you eat beef, you eat pork, and then they come and play the fool with your food, and you'll be the whole of this country, not just the people who rule this country, not a party which is ruling. I mean, as any political leader from the left front also has stood for the food rights. When Akhlaq gets killed or any Christian gets killed for ashamed over food, and any of these radical political leaders went ahead and said, hey, come on, I eat the same food. Hey, come on, I eat the same kind of, what's wrong in eating, beef? What's wrong in eating pork? It's everybody's food. Like, nobody says that. And they're all silent. And they only talk about the killing. They don't talk about the stigma associated with it. They don't talk about the notions of impurity, purity, because again, there is a notion of, large meat-eating population in India who are stigmatized, killed, and shamed. It's a very large number. We eat, but now it's become a vegetarian nation. It's become a malnourished vegetarian nation. It's malnourishment. And then you come and you post that on me, saying, majoritarian piece of food. The majoritarian aspects of food, the politics of food has been very cruel over the years. So whole of India, every child who goes to a government school, who goes to the government school? Bahujan, Dalit, Adivasis, minority children. They are the one who go to schools, government schools. Anganwadi. In Tamil Nadu, we have the egg system, a lot of places. But because they need nutrition, they need it. Because majority of them are, meat eaters at home. But some minority somewhere doesn't eat garlic and onion. I don't know what kind of, I'm so sorry, but onion and garlic is like, I can build a shrine for that. Some minority doesn't eat, onion and garlic. And then you want to impose that on me and saying that school children should not eat egg. And that is a tax money. It's everybody's money. The money is secular. Tax money is secular. Tax money does not have a religion, but you have given a shade of religion to tax money. That itself is wrong. And you're spending my money. As Dr. Abhay Kumar said, you're spending my money. You're not spending your party's money on these rituals, religious rituals. You're not spending, all those, your party's money or RSS money. You're taking the government's money only, And then you build a parliament. And then you bring all the Hindu, guys from Tamil Nadu, all the priests. Very patriarchal, they're very casteist. And with the rod and everything, they come inside. You pay them for the flight tickets. Like, with whose money? Whose money are you spending? So we should question the government. The opposition should question the government. But what happens? See, I can't expect BJP to behave like a left. They are right. They are extremists. They are using religious extremism. They will be like that. But the common minimum thing I can expect from the opposition parties to say, no, it is not like that. You can't do like that. That's why I voted, you go to parliament and talk about it. But you're not doing it. You're opening Mohammad ka dukaan. You're sitting with everybody, feeding everybody. But policy-wise, government spending-wise, parliamentary-wise, where are my people? Where are minorities? Where are Dalits? That is the question I'm asking right now. Where is the political representation? What has happened is BJP, like a tsunami, has washed over even the little bit of secularism, even the little bit of minority rights, that eagerness for minority rights sticking to Congress or any party, here, it totally becomes Hindu-first. So whatever BJP does, they want to copy. So end of the elections is like, and then when people like us, Dalits or religious minorities or Dalit Christians, we develop a movement for ourselves, which has, a potential to bring in a new kind of politics, a secular politics, a plural politics, a politics which is not copied or which is not, which has not, kind of getting adapted to BJP, than a one which is an antithesis to RSS and BJP. And then when we put a, separate thing, we keep a separate, proposition in front of you, then you question us as traitors. You question the Dalits, the Christians, the Muslims. Like Owaisi has his own politics. You can't go ahead and question him. You don't have any rights to question those people who you never protected, whose rights you never protected. And today BJP is in power is because of you. You gave that gap for Hindutva to fill in. Like Mohan Bhagavat in the RSS meeting, when Pranab Mukherjee goes, after that there was a such like you guys, so he says Pranab Mukherjee has been a guide for RSS for years. He gave that interview. So you have created that path. So mentally, you are OBC, upper caste, and majoritarian only, most of the parties. So India itself has become a majoritarian country, whereas we are not one. We are very plural. So when I'm keeping a political suggestion, like be it Mayavati or be it, Kanchiram or whoever comes, Praveen Kumar, Swari or whoever gives a different proposition, people should accept it than questioning their integrity, than questioning, what you're doing, why you're doing this. Now we are all together. What together? You don't do intercaste marriage. You don't interdine with me. You don't do anything with me. And then you say we're all together against BJP. No, you're not together against BJP. Only for elections you're pulling me together. Only for the election's sake. After that, you go your way, I go my way. We can see same Congress people going and doing puja at the same time. It will happen. That's what is going to happen. But what about my rights? Who's going to talk about minority rights? Who's going to ratify all the minority friendly conventions that UN has proposed, the rapporteurs has proposed in India? They have still not ratified it. So who's going to protect me in that? So, as I baat bolte na Mohammad ki dukaan or all the words, keep your words to yourself. Show it in actions. How are you going to protect us? That's the question I'm placing to all the political parties or activists, if they call themselves as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalin. Your powerful insights are very commendable. Now joining us from Nepal, Mohammad Ayatulla Rahaman, the National Director of Nepal Unites and Global Unites. Mohammad Rahman is a dedicated activist working towards the social cohesion and empowerment of minority groups in Nepal. Mohammad, now the floor is all yours. Please, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, all my friends. Wanakam. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Shalin, for your very insightful and powerful sharing of your speech. So I believe you can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see.
Now I'll share how we advocate and then empower the minorities youth, minorities community through our movements in Nepal units. So as you can see here, our map and how is situated here in Nepal. And at first, Nepal is a federal democratic republic country, and it is landlocked also in the South Asia. And Nepal is known as also Himalayan, Mount Everest, and Buddha was born here in Nepal. So as I have mentioned here, that we have more than 120 languages that we speak in Nepal, but we have the official language is Nepali, as already mentioned the Shalin on the linguistic and language, and about the caste and ethnicities group that we have 142. And Nepal is multicultural, multilingual, religious, and multi-ethnic country. And in Nepal, that we feel very well equipped with many culture, with between the religions and languages and our tradition. Yeah. So this is shortly about Nepal. So as I have mentioned here also, we have the three region. It's called Himalayan, Hilly region, and Tarai region. Tarai region is mostly close with India, and Himalaya is close with China. So we are between the China and India. All right. So as I have mentioned here, in the term of religions, so majority here in Nepal is Hinduism. I hope you all know of this, and Buddhism, Muslim, Christianism, Sikhism, and Jainism is minority. So I have also mentioned here the some data how much that we are. So I will not talk only in the term of religion. I want to also share in the term of casteism. So how that we have the casteism, and we have the discrimination, we have the untouchability issue in Nepal. And in the term of if I talk about the sexual minorities, which refer the LGBTIQA, that we are also facing here in Nepal, some challenges that they have, the struggle. And then another part that I want to see about the person with the disabilities, so how they are struggling in their life. Yeah, being with their disabilities, in the term of job, in the term of governmental facilities or health facilities or some other things. And I want to also say about in the term of mm, indigenous or tribe community that we have. And I visited myself in the some of minorities, very ground or very like grassroots or like backwards community. We can say like Musahar community, even they are very backward from the any types of governmental facilities. Yeah, so how they are struggling, how they are facing, how they are surviving even. And some Thal community, who has who follows the nature, and then who has own policies, own system, own culture, own rule within their communities. Even we have to also focus on the indigenous rights, how it helps for the globally, for the globalization, for the global warming, for the climate. uh, Even some of Newari is also one of the indigenous community. Newari is also some of, they pray for the land, they pray for the nature, they pray for the stone. So how it can help for our climate, the climate crisis is being the global issue. That's why we have to advocate, we have to challenge them, we have to preserve their rights, we have to empower them to have their identities as yeah, as we all have the human rights, and then equal citizen, equal behavior, equal facilities from the government. So and I want to also share some of difficulties and some of common problems that I have already mentioned. Also, I want to say about the women. Even in the context of Nepal, women are more than 50%, around 52% here we have. But till the discrimination, till the domestic violence, till the some of child marriage or dowry system, or yeah, or gender-based violence is going on. So how we cannot include as a minority, as a uh, as a, I mean, the citizen, the equal citizen, equal behavior, equal participation, inclusive. Uh, yeah. So that all of those I have mentioned here. So why they are getting the less opportunity, even in the term of to have recognition, to have a decision making, to have political inclusive, to have political representative. So we have to also focus on this topic. Yeah. And as I can say, this all of community, all of people, all of background um, are getting the less success from all the services, in the term of jobs, in the term of yeah, as I already shared, with the community services or medical services or governmental facilities. Even somewhere we have till quota system. What I say, this quota system, even making the people like it's just my perspective, like second citizen, or making something. So I want to share how we can advocate and how we can empower them through our Nepali mates. So as I have mentioned here, how to involve youth or minorities from the diverse background in one platform. And then if if we don't know each other, we don't have more engagement. It does not matter what background she or he has, or Muslim or Christian or Buddhism, Sikhism, whatever. But at first, we are the human beings. That human rights should have equal. That we focus. So as here you can see the global unites, and then it's Nepal unites is a chapter of global unites, which is running in 13 countries as a youth movement. And we work with the youth. We work for the minority identity, youth identity. So yeah, of course we focus the peace movement, peace building, youth leadership, non-violence, because if these all are things that I have mentioned, it will not match, or it will not get with the equal treat from the government, from the local government, or from the community, even from the political leader. So we cannot find the peace, right? So yeah, this is the youth movement for hope and reconciliation. And so how we advocate and how we empower uh, the minority communities or youth through our movement. So as I have mentioned, we have the awareness raising program, we have the social media campaign, we have some workshop or peace rallies, even I have mentioned the Santhal communities. Uh, we can see, and then we have advocated for their rights. Even some of them, they don't have the identities, they don't have the citizenship. Even they are living in the Nepal. Even they are also the Nepalese. Their identity is the Nepalese. Why they are not getting the citizenship? Because they are minority, and their voice will not hear, and then will not go in the concerned governmental parties. That's the problem. That's why we can empower and then encourage and then advocate with the Nepal National. And we'll have the grassroots movement and community engagement program. If we'll not visit in the community, if we'll not go in the ground, so we will not know about the minorities, struggle, minorities challenges, minorities problems, how they are surviving, how they are facing the difficulties. So that's why we have to move in the ground, in the community, and we have to listen their voice. We have to, we have to be a part of their issue. It's not about only their issue. This is our common issue, as we are the citizen, a police citizen, a global citizen. So I can share some of the picture that we have visited already. All right. Why it's not moving? Oh yeah. You can see here. We always focus during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. But why not we speak about the LGBTIQ plus? So that's why we have this campaign, and then we take their voice. We encourage to speak, and then we take from them, and then we expose from our social media, from our social side. Yeah, and then it goes. Now the time for the digital era, time for the technology. That's why we have to give the right information, right issue for their identity, for their rights through our movement. So this is one of the activities how we have done. And then another is, you can see the our field visit, community immersion, as we call grassroots movement. We visit in the community. We go with them. You can see in the second picture, in the background there is a banner. They are from the Santhal community. Even our friend from Doctor and then Shalin, you are very well known about the Santhal. So how they are still struggling for their rights, for their identity, even in India, so even in Nepal. So even the citizenship, this is the very important for the every work. So there are lots of that we have, the friends, our fellows, our participants. They are still struggling, still fighting for their rights, for their identity. That they are Santhal, and then they are the citizen of Nepalese citizen. So this is how we are moving in the ground. And then another, you can see, on the other side, you can see the voice from our one alumni. His call is Sandeep Sada. Sada, especially from the Mushar community. So he has mentioned here, you can see the minorities and indigenous community deserve an equitable and just society free of the discrimination. So at least we have to start with a small step. Bottom two. We cannot go. We cannot give the pressure for the political leaders. We can, but we can move with a small step. We can move with a small footprint with the marginalized, with the minorities voice. Yeah. So this is how we are working. And then on another side, that you can see the youth from the different background, different ethnicities, different culture. We have we can give in one table to discuss on the social issues, to discuss their leadership, identities, or rights, or whatever that they are facing, in their communities. So another side, you can see the community visioning summit that we have the one activities. So especially we discuss about the community issues, and we work and then we raise like this. So yeah, all right. For more information, my friends, you can visit us. So okay, thank you very much. This is my end from my side. If you have any question, comments, feedback, or any clarification, I'm happy to share with you.
Thank you for the presentation. We appreciate your efforts. Thank you, Mohammad Rahaman, for those insightful comments. Finally, we have Reeta Pariyar, a writer, human rights activist, and social entrepreneur from Nepal. Reeta has been at the forefront of various initiatives aimed to lift up the marginalized communities and advocating for their rights. Reeta, please share your insight with us.
Hello, good afternoon, namaskar, salam alaikum. Very, very happy to meet you all, and especially Shalin ji. We just follow each other in Twitter, X. Very, very fascinated by Shalin ji work, and then I hope to connect with you and in the future as well. Well, many things has been already said on today's meeting. What I believe is like the identity of minorities in South Asia influenced by many other issues, like for example, like historical way, religious way, ethnicity way, socio-political factors, and including their casteism issues. I will take other ways, that even the economic issues, so many ways people has been always marginalized in South Asia, mostly. In India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, they all have their own issue, so I'm close to India, so I feel very closely Indian issues, like how politically they demoralize the certain caste, women's, so religious way, and then the urban rulers part of the way, how city and elite people only take all the facility from the government, which all the citizen of the nation has to get a same equal value of the nation. Which is not getting every citizen, but most of the people who has access to the government, access to the power, they are the only one that taking the advantage, So I think pretty much in Saudi, they're everywhere. The minorities in Muslim in India, I would not like to say the Muslims, that the huge population actually. I mean, in the minorities, in the Hindus, in a Bangladesh, how they are suffering, like Buddhist in Myanmar, they are suffering. There's a lot of factors that's always affect, which I already mentioned, the religious way, socio-political way, and we have like this, the one factor I just read in a cultural identity, so these all kind of things has been there, like in South Asia mostly. So they always affect to the people who are not able to get those rights. I mean, they don't know what is their rights. So basically, what we have to advocate about it, and we have to let them know that what is their right. So many people are still like really jungling and then mentioning, or they are in a dilemma. They don't know what is their right. So first we have to advocate about their rights, because in the nation, one vote is matter. The matters that can be the vote beggars, they can be like working class person, or they can be like Modi, or can be in a Prachanda, in our prime minister. So each vote is matter. So if each vote is matters, then everybody should get the same justice. Everybody should get the same benefit and should get the same rights. From the nation that which they have a rights on that. But the problem is that they are not knowing, they are not aware of the their issues, their rights, and that makes them like very vulnerable. So what I try to do through my foundation, so I try to teach women, so Dalit women, marginalized women. We work even the Simadi with combined like Muslim women and other women, and even the Christians are very minorities in Nepal. So I try to connect with women, those that who are not aware of their rights. It's not a matter of the religion or caste or sex. It's you are citizen of this nation, then you should get the equal rights of this nation. So what I'm trying to do is that connect those humans, and they try to make a bridge over this. All of us, because always, this is how the government. I mean, this is the political agenda that like divide and rules. So what they do is the first things they try to do is the religion. The religion is the oldest business. So it's very easy to make the people fight with each other, try to make them like, oh, you know what, you are greater than them, and then or some of are greater than some, and some of are greater lower than them. So this is how they try to divide within a people. So if everybody comes together and they have a unity, so unity always win over the any government, because government makes by the people. So often they forget that once they got that position. But what I am trying to do is that like to make a bridge over all the religion. Religion is very beautiful things that makes you human, that makes you not to cross the limit of any bad stuff that so you do not do bad to other people's, and you have a certain, and everybody has a different way to follow that, the rule or whatever you say, pray or everything. For me, it's like every God is the same, but it's just a way is different to get there. So for me, like I always try to connect all of us. So mostly our priest, our guru, whatever, they try to always advocate of their own is a better. You see, you prove yourself is better, not blaming and shaming others. You can always can be better, but you don't have to put somebody down to be a better person or better ideology or better religion. So that's my entirely very personal things, because I always believe in this humanism, because we all are humans and we all have this kind of ethic and morals for each other to love. But who are playing in between this gap is the people who's taking benefit out of this departure, out of this inequality, and out of this the gap of the people. So government always have an intention to do that. Obviously, they don't want the people to be united and ask their right. So that's a very huge agenda. We should talk about it actually in South Asia. So other thing is like gender issues. I will not go for that far. Of course, we women have still got a long way to go. But what I believe is within a woman. But what kind of woman in there? Intersexuality. The woman from the very elite family, the woman from the very poor family, the woman from the very higher caste, the woman from the very lower caste. So who is a woman? So we have to know this, like the layers of women's right. So who should get their right and who should not, get their right. So we have to understand the layers of that within a woman itself. So even within a religious people, not like, okay, minorities, okay, in here, some of people are very rich who got access to the government and access to the media, access to everybody, and they don't speak for other people. For example, there's a couple of Dalit representatives in a political issue. There's a couple of Muslim people representative in a political party. Some of women are representative in a political party. But are they genuinely talking about our issue or not? That is very important. So what we have to understand is that we don't want token of representative. We want the genuine representative. And we want every religion, every intersexuality, woman sector of the leader, they all should get the part of the representative in a political, So they said like above all the policy, the political is the best and main policy, So we all go through of that of the policy, the politics is above that. So what I believe now is that we have to get into politics. We have to get access in the politics so that we can change the policy there, because policy makers are those. Obviously, we all are activists. We shout it, we write, we always give them like, okay, you should change that. You cannot do this. You can do this. We always out there. I mean, I think Salinji, I know the India is going through so bad with the BJP and all that. So I really, I see everything very closely. So I know this, but what I want is now, we women from each religion, each caste, its own way, we have to take a part. So in Nepal, we have a federalism system, which is, we are a secular country. Well, but then always Hindu takes some more of the everything, and then even our political leaders go to India with the Modi, they do the all puja, blah, blah, blah. So what I believe is that, the proportional representative, we have to do that. Like whatever population we have, for example, we have like in Nepal, I think 5 or 6% of Muslim people, they should get that proportional representative in a politics, and other part of the government as well, bureaucracy, police, business, anyway, any layers of the government, we should all get that representation there. So otherwise, these people are taking the nation in their hand, years and years and years. All the Brahmins are taking there. So they are fighting there now. Our parliament is shut down because this couple of Brahmins are fighting to each other. So who is suffering? We suffer. We daily workers suffer because our works stop. So these people always have this eager, this devil desire that to be always there and ruled us. So we have to have a representative in a politics. I very highlighted that point now because I come to know that that's the one way. I was an activist, I'm a writer. You see how many people write, how many people do the activism. So anything change, a lot of people like, we change in a certain people, of course. But we want to change the whole people, whole sub, So if we change the couple of the policy, rule and regulation for those people who have to help from the government, because they are historical way, they are keeping those people in a suppression in a many, many years. And I think the previous, one of the friends from Nepal, I mean, of course, we didn't know each other, but nice to know Mohammad ji. He was mentioning the one thing about the quota. Quota is a reservation. I'm very offended by that. He mentioned that way. That quota does not make anybody second class, Mohammad ji. Please, you should read the books. I will recommend it certain things. Reservation is that in a historical way, years and years, this government has keep those people in a suppression. Now they have to give an extra facility to those people to come up equality and equity. So then after that, we all can competition in the same line. Before that, we have to bring all those people in the same line to people do the competition. So still people are not getting education. It's just the 50 years in Nepal that Dalit has got education access, So even there are very few people are here and there. And there's many people. And then, the reservation is very interesting in Nepal. I think India is the same things, I think Shalin did. But in Nepal, I'd like to tell you, it's a proportional, this reservation has that too. Like, still Brahmins and caste are they still get a reservation, And another people like women get a reservation. And which women get a reservation? All these higher caste women get a reservation. So it's a very, very irony that who gets the reservation. Only couple of 1 or 2 Dalit gets the reservation, and people have the sardar, like people have the like that, oh, he got a reservation. You see, so that is where we have to make people understand. And I'm very sad to know that Mohammad has a absolutely fantastic presentation, but he's still unaware of the quota system, reservation system. So he has to learn, because if he said this kind of thing in this kind of the forum, that was very wrong message to the world. So we have to be very careful what we speak, what we let the world knows. So in other issues that even this reservation things within a Dalit, within a Chaudhary, within indigenous people, within any religious people, women are always that demands, right? So those kind of things, even we have to be very careful when we advocacy about the people, about the society, and when we go to who initiate our community, and that person should not be this poisoned by some people. We are, why our movements have been always like lost in a certain point. When we reach in a certain point, our movement is just forget the ambition, because our people who take our movement in their hand, and after that they give certain position to them, and they forgot the society. So this is why even we need a new era after movement, Salinji. I think we need a new era after movement. Now we have to start the movement in a new way, I guess. But we have to thank to our previous activists, writers, and whoever bring the movement till here, so that we are able to speak right now. I'm very thankful to those people. But then again, we have to rethink, redefine, and restart our movement again in the South Asia. So we are all Dot people, so we have to connect in a one line, so that we can help to each other country, and we can give a voice for each other. But what is the challenges? I like to invade a certain point. Challenges is in a minority committee is that it's unawares. The advocacy is lacking. All the organizations, NGO, INGO, they come and they do. They need a certain form to fill up. They fill the form and they just done their work, and they really don't grow. They don't really care about what is happening back then. So once you plant the seed, you have to water them. You have to take care of them till the tree grows. So they will so what I believe is that the local people, we have to make certain activists through the activity, advocacy and all that. So the local people, they can help the people from there in a small level, basic rules, basic rights. We don't need to know so many things to be a very powerful and very courageous. Knowing little things makes very long impact and a deep connection. So social movements is like whenever I go to my hometown, so what I do is I always gather the women and I start talking with them. Like I ask them what they know first, then I correct them. Make them leader. Let them be. What's happening right now is just we only go and talk. Everyone, even the political leaders and everyone. So first we have to listen, and then we correct them, so that they feel their responsibility. They feel that they are matters. Koi sunta hai uska, like people listening to them. So we have to make them feel that very like feel that you are matter, your voices matter, and you know things. It's just that we have to just slightly, if you say these things this way, that is more important. So this government, we have a federal system, like this local level, ward, so we have to collaborate with this local government. Actually, that's their job. We are doing government job, Salinji. We are doing government job. Government has to do that. It's their responsibility to aware all the people. So we doing that, but we want our people to grow. We want our people to civilize. We want our people to ask their right. If somebody do the injustice to us, they can be vocal. At least they can say, this is wrong, we're not going to take. If they say that much, that is big slap for those people who is trying to, controlling them and making them slap from years and years. So it's a small things we can change. I mean, in a national level, obviously I'm having dialogue to the youth people, and I'm now into that. I'm a social entrepreneur too, so I try to change the women's life financially. Financially independence is the major thing for women in our South Asia, all over, because Europe and America, they already have been there. So we have to focus to women to be financially independent. So which I'm helping women to give them a skillful job, try to train them. So they just come out from the house to do something, make some money. So they have a voice in their own house. Once you have a voice in your own house, and that only that way you can come out and give a voice to other people. So I think we should do that as well, and then working with many agencies with our own countries. Otherwise, the diaspora things is like, the country of the different countries has a different embassies is here around here. So maybe we can work with them. I think they help benefit more than our own government. So we can even aware that. So otherwise we are bored of losing our culture, their own everybody has their own culture in Nepal and India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. So all the indigenous people have a wonderful, this art and music, their khana, food. We have to preserve that. That makes us rich. And those all doing is the woman, They're all involving in, I think Salinji has mentioned that too. So there is a women. So women always preserve this world, or as a way we try to say, because mothers and women's, like same. So or we take as a mother. So within South Asia, I mean, of course, there are men has need help as well, but I focus more on women because women are suppressed in their own family. Because so I come from that family that where I didn't get that especially that as my brother, but I'm very very privileged in myself. So I try to get everything what I want to do. I achieve my own way. So not every girl has that, this kind of this confidence. They cannot talk. So there has been keeping in a suppression very young age. They cannot speak what they want. They have to wear certain clothes. They have to speak certain way. Only everything has to be on their family way. So they don't have their own vocal. It's no idea. There's no thinking. If they have the thoughts probably, but they're never able to talk to go outside. So we have to focus on this women. So minorities has an issue with all this aspect of the social political and all that. But I see the lights end of the tunnel, So every one and everything has a time. Time is very changeable. So change is a universal truth. So and I believe that everything will change for a good and better for our own people. So someday we can imagine the beautiful South Asia and world that where every woman, every minorities, every Dalits, every religion people can live happily by themselves. Every life is matter. We can say by them. So that is what I like to say. I hope I cover up because everybody has said many things. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
I agreed with you. Thank you so much, Reeta, for sharing your impressive thoughts. As we approach the webinar to the end, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our speakers for their time and insights. Your contribution has provided us a deeper understanding of identity crisis faced by minorities in South Asia region. Thank you everyone who attended and participates in today's webinar. For more information about SARIM's work, you can and how you get involved with us, please visit our website or contact us directly. Together, we can continue to advocate for and empower minority communities across the South Asia region. Thank you so much and have a great day, you all.